Hello and welcome to another mod showcase. I'm putting my Dark Brotherhood overhaul on pause because it's not quite right yet, but luckily for me, a brilliant mod I think you should all try was just released. I'm talking about Vanilla Tweaks Animals and Creatures Refresh by Clofus. This mod was released on the 16th, and after a few seconds of reading the description, I decided I really had to give it a try. Essentially, this mod is a rework of the basic spawns in game. It includes AI tweaks for the animals, making them more or less aggressive dependent on the species, which is admittedly nothing we haven't seen before. However, the way it goes about this is entirely fresh. They've renamed and redesigned the animals to give more depth to each species. This has included separating animals up into further categories that are dictated by size and behaviour. For example, we now have grey wolves, which aren't aggressive but will warn you if you're too close, or dire wolves, which have been rescaled to be much larger than the grey wolves. They're also more aggressive and will hunt you over a larger range. We also have multiple types of bear that suit the real world species, such as black bears, which are smaller and less aggressive, cave bears, which are bigger and more aggressive, will spot and hunt you from further, and polar bears, which are larger still but less aggressive overall than the cave bears. Personally, my favourite changes come in the shape of the giants, which have a ton of size disparity now. I've come across some that are larger than houses, and this is something I've always wanted to see in Skyrim. Giants have always felt a little underwhelming. Even when I'm flying up in the air after a strong clubbing, I was confused as to how something that small managed to do this. But that's not a problem anymore. There are tons of outstanding changes and additions to a ton of species, including wolves, bears, giants, goats, spiders, dogs, mudcrabs, rabbits, skeevers and dragons. Pretty much every non-human spawn has had an edit. I've really only given a small sample here because if I tried to explain all the changes, it would take up quite some time. So I'm going to leave a link in the description so you can check out all the changes for yourself. You will be extremely surprised at the span of this mod, and even more so when I say it only costs 27 kilobytes. Seriously, 27 kilobytes. If you're a regular viewer, you'll know just how much I love low cost mods, and this is easily one of the best for cost mods going. I want to compare this mod to one I use regularly in load orders, Real Wildlife. This mod also adds in new species types and changes their AI, but for 25 megabytes I feel like it's lacking comparatively with vanilla tweaks. Don't get me wrong though, there are some changes in Real Wildlife I'd love to see attached to vanilla tweaks, such as spawn numbers being increased and more variants of wildlife. However, I do think that vanilla tweaks is dealing with the variance of creature so much better. It makes regular spawns feel so different. I've been running around all day checking out the new sizes of things like giants and dragons, and the AI changes also feel more immersive too, as they don't blanket cover the species but rather the subcategories within the species, and this feels extremely correct. I'm going to be making the switch over to Vanilla Tweaks Animals and Creature Refresh on a permanent basis because it's doing a lot for my game. I'm really happy that we have this on Xbox, and from the looks of it, it may even be part of a greater series, so keep your eyes open. I say this as Clofus has also given us Vanilla Tweaks Audio Refresh this week as well, which I highly recommend checking out. It's something of a cheap all-in-one audio mod that takes each sound and their individual levels into account. I'll leave a link to this in the description as well. But on that, I am going to call it. I will continue to test and push my Dark Brotherhood overhaul to make sure that what I deliver to you is perfect. I do, however, hope that this video has been helpful. If it has, I would as always appreciate those likes, comments and subscriptions. I'd also love to hear what mods have blown you away recently too, but for now, thank you for watching and I hope to see you in the next one.